in our first interview in 2015, and he didn't do it in his 4 years, so I was wondering about that particular attack. Now, you spoke with Martha MacCallum the other day about the attacks on President Trump's character and attempts to smear him. What does that say about Kamala Harris?
Well, I think it said all along that she didn't really have a plan. She didn't really have a single policy point that she could, direct the American people to and say, this is why you should vote for me. If you're running for president of the United States, you better lay out a great plan for the American people and tell them how you're going to make their life better, not just continually attack the opposition. And I think whenever they got to a level of just insulting people and trying to harass people into voting for them, that's kind of how when you lose the American public. When people say, you know what, I don't want to be insulted into voting for someone. I want to actually look at how this person might make my life better and make the future better for this country, my kids, my grandkids, et cetera. And that's what Donald Trump did. So I think when they got to the point of constant mudslinging and not really talking about what they do for the American people, I think that's what lost them the election.
But couldn't Democrats say the same? Because during the campaign, Trump called the vice president dumb, cursed her at one point, and questioned her racial identity.
Well, I think whenever you see Donald Trump say things like this is not out of character for him. This is who he's always been. And I think it is pretty dumb, Howie, to leave the border wide open and allow 20 million people to pour into our country illegally. I think it's pretty dumb to do things like shut down the Keystone XL pipeline, render us no longer energy independent. I think there are a lot of dumb things that happened during the course of this administration. And I think a lot of Americans agreed with Donald Trump's assessment of exactly that.
Well, it's one thing to say that the policies are dumb versus saying somebody essentially has a low IQ.
You got to question someone's intelligence if they're doing these things, quite frankly.
Okay. Look,